Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value home theater, high-value hi-fi, and high-value headphones. We've done some cool stuff over here at The Cheap Audio Man, but we've never kicked off a Kickstarter. So it's not just us. I'm sure there's other people. So we're talking about the HarmonicDyne Poseidon headphones. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the HarmonicDyne Poseidon headphones. Today's sponsor is Sith Audio Flying Foam Projectiles. We all know how much fun it is to get the family together and start shooting these things at each other all over the house, and then they're lying all over the house. But if you want the family to be safe and to still support Sith Audio, get some Sith Audio Flying Foam Projectiles. They're available in packs of 1 or 2,000. One of them's $12, 1,000 is 13. Heck of a deal. Buy in bulk. So, the HarmonicDyne Poseidon. I wish I had like a trident right here. Maybe take my shirt off. Probably nobody wants to see that. Okay. HarmonicDyne Poseidon. You may have heard of a company called Linsol. They sell a lot of IEMs, a lot of headphones, think 10 hi-fi T2s. When they approached me on email, not physically, when they emailed me and asked me if I wanted to check out their new Poseidon headphones for a Kickstarter, I was over the moon. And then when they showed up, I was over the moon even more because it comes in a secret agent case, just like this. It has all sorts of things like that. Even has a lock on there. The keys are inside. Very nice carrying case, just in case you want to take it on the aircraft with you when you're on a business trip. So let's take a look at them, all right? I like that. I like it. It's very cool. And let me show you the inside. Let me show you the inside. All right, let's see if I can get this in focus. Look at that. They are in a nice little foam holding area. It's got the serial number on there. You can see that right there. And then on the top it says HarmonicDyne. Very nice. Okay. So if Kermit the Frog was doing a headphone review. Hi-ho, these, the yoke is very nice and the ear pads feel like Miss Piggy's face after she's had a chemical peel. That wasn't very funny. The kids love it, though. My kids do love it. On the top of the headband, it has a very nice, and it feels like real leather up there. You can see it's metal on the top here. Well, maybe not. Actually, it's plastic. So it looks like the top is plastic, very nice plastic. And then it has just a cool little design there. On the side, very cool wood. And then they extend like this and then go back like this. Clearly marked left and right. Now, the ear cups take a 3.5 millimeter single-ended jack. So you can run these balanced, of course, and they actually come with a balanced cable. All right, so the cable terminates in an XLR like this, but it also comes with an adapter, just in case you want to run it single-ended. So you just put this together like this. Yeah, see, when it clicks, you know you got it right. And you can just pull it out. So this cord is covered in a fabric coating. And let's see how long it is. All right. It is 7 foot long. 7 foot long, terminates into two 3.5 millimeter thingies. Has a very nice little, I don't know what you call it. It's where the cord splits. Has a very nice cord splitting cover. So the cord's very nice. It's got you covered whether or not you want to run balanced or single-ended. The ear pads, they're very soft. They feel, I don't know if they're memory foam or not. These are also open back, so I can hear myself right now. Open back headphones. Okay. Ear pads are very good. So these have, they're suede a little sweaty too. Suede, but they're pretty much the standard size of ear pads. They come off very easily. So if you ever want to change them out, certainly not impossible to do so. And if you want a little bit of a different sound signature, then you can just change them out for some sheepskin or something like that. So the ear cups, besides, there's a very nice metal grill, no sharp edges at all. So however they machined it, they did a great job. The ear cup is wood. Very nice looking headphone. Now for price, if you get in, there's two early bird pricings. One's $279, one's $299. When these go on sale for good, they're going to be around $435. And spoiler alert, probably want to get them. I'll get into the sound more in detailed sound. But they're great. They sound fantastic. And they have a nickel driver, which is a little bit different. They call this the beryllium killer. And that's fine by me because nickel's cheaper, I guess. Anyway, very cool driver. Different kind of material than is normally used, but to my ear, they sound pretty awesome. These will lay flat, so if you ever got out and about, you can lay them flat. With the open back, I don't know how much one is going to be taking these out and about, but they lay flat, okay? Pretty well built, I think. They don't look like they're gonna have any issues at all. The plastic on the top is the only thing that I'm not like super excited about, but everything else feels very, very good. And even the plastic on top, I don't think one is going to have any issues. So very well built, very comfortable on the headband engages a lot of surface area on your brain housing unit, so it doesn't have any hot spots. Pretty good. Built very well. A little bit of creak. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit. Same video, different t-shirt. So I shot this across multiple days, so I changed out the t-shirt. And most people in my family probably appreciated that. So what did I run this off of? Well, it runs just fine off of a dongle DAC. This is the HiDiz S9 Pro. It's a balanced and single-ended dongle DAC. I ran this single-ended. Now, you don't get a 3.5 millimeter connection, so you're either going to need to buy a new cord or you're going to need to get an adapter. Anything that has 3.5 millimeter terminations for the ear cup and whatever you're plugging it into will work, and you don't have to worry about it having to be like recessed or anything. This is a Meze cable. I just happen to have it lying around. It works just fine. It will run just perfectly off a dongle DAC single-ended. Now I do have balanced 2.5 ended output for the HiDiz S9 Pro. I didn't use it. I can, but I didn't. From a power perspective, you don't need it. So the Poseidons are rated at 64 ohms, 103 dB of sensitivity, which means I was able to drive them off of anything, really, even a laptop adapter, even a tablet 3.5 adapter. However, to get the best sound out of them, I would recommend a dongle DAC or a purpose-built DAC with a headphone amp included, or a DAC and a headphone amp. I also ran these off of the topping L50 headphone amp and the E50 DAC, and it was quite nice. Also ran these off of the Gashelli J2 going into the topping. Also put these on the X-Duo MT604. Good news is, sounded great on all of them. And there's no bad news. So let's talk about how they sound. Overall, these have become my new favorite Goldilocks headphone. And when I say Goldilocks, I mean it is giving me enough of everything to make me happy. There are other headphones that I think do maybe a better job, but they only do a better job in one area. For example, the HiFiMan Sundars. They do a better job of detail retrieval and air. The Drop Buyer Dynamic 17.7X Go is a little bit a better job with bass presence, but both the Sundara and the 17.7X Go don't do as good of a job over the entirety of the frequency response. Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love at the beginning. This thing about this headphone is there is a warmness and thickness to the bass without covering up any mid-range detail or top-end detail. And I was thinking about it last night, and I like to use metaphors. Caramel. A little bit of extra caramel, if there was any caramel. There's some caramel on Whole Lot of Love on the bass line. It was just a bit sweeter, just a bit thicker, maybe hard to chew if you put 18 of them in your mouth at one time. But if you just put one, you can chew it and it's fine. You can enjoy it. Two cubes of caramel on Whole Lot of Love. I Gave You All by Mumford & Sons. One of my favorite songs. There's just so much going on. They have so many instruments, vocals. So the vocals were, again, a bit warmer, but still maintain detail. And when there is just enough warmth, and I've heard it on Adele, never heard it on a male vocalist before, but I've heard Haunting on Adele, Hello by Adele. This is the first time I've ever heard a haunting presentation of male vocals. And it happened on There Will Be Time by Mumford & Sons with the Poseidons. So the mid-range on this is, quite frankly, brilliant. It's maybe not 6XX drop, Sennheiser 6XX brilliant, but they feel like they're related. They feel like they're close. But I'll say this headphone does a better job of the drop 6XX on the top end, or at least I prefer the Poseidon to the 6XX on the top end. It's given me a little bit more detail. Now, to be fair, I'm a bit of a detail nut. I like air. I like extension. I like hearing the room a little bit more. And the Poseidon does a better job, in my opinion, just my opinion, than the 6XX on the top end. Another part of There Will Be Time with Mumford & Sons, there's a trumpet that comes in. And for whatever reason, it was presented in a way that I haven't heard it before. The trumpet just had presence and immediacy that I hadn't heard on any other headphones or speakers for that matter before. The Boys of Summ, Don Henley. At the beginning, there's some drums, some percussion going on. And then a meow, I gotta do a picture like you. It won't look like it won't look. Anyway, that song. It's very good. The percussion on there was tactile and clear, but yet just a bit thick. And it was so awesome because generally a headphone can't do both. It can't be warm and detailed at the same time, or at least do it well without scooping the heck out of the mid-range. But the Poseidon did it. I really like it. This really is my favorite Goldilocks headphone right now. Alanis Morissette, Uninvited. Both the MTV Unplugged album that features Uninvited by Alanis Morissette and the studio album have a bit of sibilance. Sibilance, the ch and the s's on Alanis. So if a headphone has sibilance issues, they are really apparent when I listen to those two tracks. On these, it handled it very well. So there wasn't any sibilance coming from the headphones. There was sibilance coming from the recording, coming from the track, but not from the headphones. I almost said headphones. Headphones, per se. So they did a really good job on the top end. Metallica, The Black Album, remastered, Wherever I May Roam, at the beginning. So we're not talking about the 14-second mark. We can talk about the 14-second mark. I use this track a lot. I know people get tired of it. He's always saying 14-second mark on Wherever I May Roam. Anyway, Metallica, the beginning of the song, Wherever I May Roam, so there's a gong hit. And when there was a gong hit on the Poseidons, so first of all, it was immediate, kind of 360 degrees around me, and then it was, and then it rose up. And sometimes I love headphones because they give me a different presentation than through speakers. They are not the same. They can never be the same because one is a speaker. The other is a headphone. Some people can say, well, a headphone is speakers strapped to your ears. Fine, whatever. But the presentation for me has always been different. And I like that because then I get to enjoy my favorite music in multiple ways. Anyway, the gong, whoa, just rose up. Quite nice. I hadn't heard it like that before, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, I feel this headphone strikes a balance between the lows, the mids, and the highs. If there was one area in the frequency range where I think this headphone could do a bit better, it's in the lower bass. Narcassistic Cannibal by Korn. At the 1 minute mark, there's a doo-doo, very electronic bass, kind of dub-steppy bass. It was very low. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it on the a bit of a idea of it. To be fair, I haven't heard that part of the song really done well on any headphone. Some speakers will do it. If you have a subwoofer, it'll definitely do it. But on these headphones, a little bit short. So if you're really into the lows of the lowest bass, it might be a little bit lacking. But I would challenge you, give me a headphone that can handle the sub bass really well. I want to hear it because I haven't currently heard it. Overall, sound signature of the Poseidons is excellent. As far as soundstage and imaging, I use The Ocean by Led Zeppelin. At the beginning, John Bonham is doing his little count to get into the song before it goes. I hope I don't get copywritten with my guttural utterances that resemble a song. Anyway, John Bonham seemed like he was up. And the Sundaras do a really good job of soundstage as far as and imaging and stuff like that. So Poseidon's maybe not quite as good as the Sundaras, but again, very good. Seemed like it was above and away, which is all I ask for in imaging of a headphone. Overall, I don't think you can ask much more from a headphone, especially at the Kickstarter price of $279 or $300. Even at the retail price of $435, I think it's going to be hard pressed to beat this thing from a overall standpoint. I think there are headphones out there that may do a better job in certain areas. It's a Goldilocks headphone. So let's talk about a couple of things that, it's not that I don't like them. It's just some things that I wish maybe were a titch different. Now, I'm splitting hairs here. This is a great headphone. I wish this was a little bit different. I don't know if it's going to break. It's probably not going to break. But I wish the headband was metal. And I think this is still plastic too. Yeah, so this part is still plastic. So I wish these were metal. And I wish maybe there was another holding point up here. Because you see that gap? That makes me a little bit nervous. Is it going to break? I don't know. I haven't had these for very long. But if I could have my druthers, this would be all made out of metal. I do like everything about this headphone, really, except for the only gripe, headband, and this piece that's holding on the ear cup. Overall, though, I think they're built very well. The sides, again, no sharp edges. And that's one thing. I have some monoprice headphones that I like the sound of. But you do this, you're going to need a Band-Aid because they're sharp. This was very well done. Other thing I wish they included a 3.5 millimeter cable for on the go if you have a dongle DAC or anything like this. But one can find an adapter or just get a 3.5 millimeter terminated on both ends cable. Very impressed with the Poseidons. Now listen, if you buy these through Kickstarter, I don't get anything. So I am not incentivized to give this thing a glowing review because I don't get anything on the back end. They're just good. So if you want to get a great pair of headphones at a screaming deal, back the Kickstarter. Kickstarters are fun. I backed Peak Design, actually this tripod that the camera's on. I like Peak Design. They're a camera bag company. I backed, that was my first ever Kickstarter, was this tripod. Worked out just fine. A lot of fun to be the first early adopter of a product. So, if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/CheapAudioMan. Every Sunday night, we have Patreon-only Zooms. We had one last night. A lot of fun. A whole bunch of new people in there. You can also sign up for Amazon Music. There's a link in the description. Click on the link. Sign up. You get a whole bunch of high-definition music, high-fidelity music for free for like 3 months. And then you can cancel. But if you're a Prime member, it's only $7 a month. $7 a month. $7 a month. Which is the lowest cost high definition music streaming service available. Okay. Okay. You can also use most of my links. Most of the links are affiliate links. The Kickstarter link is not an affiliate link. But don't let that dissuade you, because these are awesome. Awesome. So don't binge watch anything. Binge listen through your new HarmonicDyne Poseidons and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm that cheap audio man.